We're not messing around today. Let's go live right here on pwpnation.com, at pwpnation, on Twitter, on YouTube. My name is Jay Aletto. Thank you so much for joining me here on another episode of this show that I do here on the network, my YouTube channel. So thank you so much for joining me, man. I don't know what to say. I'm grateful. I'm appreciative. Thank you. Please hit that subscribe button, that like button, and let's have some fun, baby. There's a lot to talk about, a lot going on, especially since I've broken away from the chains of the wrestling community, brother. We got a lot of big things coming up next week. I got shows scheduled with a buddy of mine on Twitter named Mix, at I am Mix. He is a news reporter. He literally posts the news all day long, nonstop on Twitter. Let's talk to Mix next week. We're going to talk to Grim from Grim's Toys Show next week. We'll have Grim on the show. We'll be bullshitting, kicking it with him. My buddy Doug Rush, who is a sports card expert aficionado and works within the sports card industry. We're going to talk to him as well. And hopefully some more guests lined up for the next week or so. I've got the Baseball show. I did a podcast yesterday with a couple of my buddies, Baseball. We're going to be talking to them. I already talked to them. That's going to be released a little bit later tonight. So thank you guys once again. Appreciate it. Appreciate everything. All the support. Anybody who hits that subscribe button, that like button, and help support this channel. You could always hit me up on Patreon at patreon.com/PWPNation to support us directly. It's really the best way to do it right now. Oh yeah, we're chilling. We're gonna get into screen share soon. Just let me get this out there a little bit into the world, into the wizard, and doubt we'll get too many concurrent viewers today. Hopefully a couple. I mean, this is a long road. I understand that. I'm totally self-aware of the fact that this is going to be very difficult to rebuild an audience that has literally said goodbye to me in more than one way, and that's fine. I'm not. No woe is me here. I don't care. It's just the reality of it, man. I've gone from having, hundreds, if not thousands of viewers on YouTube, on Periscope, to having like none on YouTube. But let's see if anybody wants to kick it here in the chat, because we're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. I got to talk about Robinhood. I got to talk about what's going on with the entire financial system. I think there's a big problem. The Great Reset is here. And a lot of this stuff that's happening right now is to distract you and distract your mind from the Great Reset happening. So I hope everyone's vigilant out there with their money, with their funds, staying healthy. I'd also like to, I'd be remiss to not dedicate this show to a friend of mine's father who passed away from COVID-19. Bo, we're going to miss you, man. You've always helped us out along the way. You're a super nice guy. I've never had a problem with you whatsoever. Shocking. I did not expect to hear that news today. So rest in peace, Bo. Very, very much sucks. I'm very upset about this. I don't want to release his shoot name on the show, but I'll call him Bo and say, thoughts and prayers with your family, your friends, and everybody who you've helped. It sucks, man. Terrible to hear. Terrible to hear, terrible to listen to. I hate it. I hate any time you lose somebody who's the least bit close to you, even if it doesn't affect you directly, even if it affects, a friend of yours or another relative of yours. It's just sucks. It's painful. It hurts. But, we got to get through it all together now. What is this? Let's get this show on the road in just a minute. We're going to just get the appropriate shilling out there to try to get some listeners, somebody to come join me on this show tonight. Somebody in the chat, somebody that wants to talk, somebody that wants to view this live feed. We will build this audience. It's just going to take a while. That's how it is. It takes a long time. All right, let's fire up the other app. So we're going to chill. We're going to talk about all this craziness, all this nonsense, all this complete and total insanity today. And we're going to start off by going through an email that I just received a little bit ago. I'm actually not sure when it came in because I wasn't really paying attention to what the email was. I don't get those constant updates. It's in my email box, but we're going to kick it with we're going to start it with an email from Robinhood. And if you guys don't know, Robinhood is a stock market trading app that, was developed a couple of years ago. And the whole idea behind Robinhood was a way to bring trading back to the common man, to kind of allow us to do it free of charge. So we're not getting completely destroyed by brokers and fees. Like normally, when I used to trade and do stock market investing, it was like $7 a trade. Like legit, like you had to work in those fees into your trading strategy to make sure you could, make up for that $7 fee that you had to pay to trade your stock, to buy stocks. So as soon as you were to buy a stock, and this is the way it was back in the day for me a couple of years ago, you'd be $7 in the hole. You'd be $7 in the hole as soon as you made a move in the stock market. But Robinhood came along and they tried to change the game, and they did. They forced the hands of other brokerages to literally make $0 trading, free trading, for the most part. I mean, of course, they're going to charge you for calls and options, and I'm not going to get too into the trading deal, but they would allow $0, free trading of stocks, normal retail stocks. And this is something that has been huge for many people who do invest, who are interested in investing. But what has happened over the last week or two is there's a Reddit forum. It's called Wall Street Bets, right? Wall Street Bets. And, my cousin, buddy of mine, who's also my cousin, why is this my name? What am I doing? My cousin, he told me about this Wall Street Bets gimmick, I don't know, quite a while ago, a few months ago, I guess. And he was telling me about how he was using it, how it seemed to be working out for him, and I should check it out. Well, I was apprehensive, and what they've pretty much done is they found a way to rally the troops, lack of a better term, to get everybody on board with one methodology, with one strategy, with one way to move the stock market in the direction that they want it to move. And they have essentially done that. And they were able to see what was happening on the shorts from the big brokerages, the hedge funds. They were able to see that they were shorting GameStop stock. A lot. Like, I'm not going to pretend that I'm a financial expert or a wizard or try to convey this in any other words but normal talk. I'm not going to use technical terminology here, but there was a lot, billions of dollars worth of open shorts on the GameStop stock. It's hard to say, GameStop stock. So basically what happened is people on Reddit, they noticed this, they figured it out, and they decided to drive the stock price to the moon. Their strategy is to drive that GameStop stock to $1,000 per share. Whether that will happen or not, we don't know. Time remains to be told. But today, Robinhood, which is the platform this primarily was being done on, because it's a platform for younger people. Like, it made stock trading easy. It opened up the world of dividend investing. It opened that world up to a lot of people who had never really invested in the past. So here we are. We're at a point where Robinhood, in all their glory, gives us an update on their market conditions today. And the email reads as follows. Hi, Jason. It's been a tough day, and we're grateful to you for being a Robinhood customer. First of all, I have not traded in Robinhood for over 2 years. And the reason I haven't done that is because I have a different strategy that I don't need Robinhood for. Okay. And I always found them to be a little bit patronizing. I always thought it was a little bit odd in a sense that they opened up this completely zero fee platform that allows people to just trade freely. I always found it a little bit weird, but I always thought it was amazing as well. And when my brokerage of choice started doing free trading as well, I said, holy crap, this is awesome. I love what Robinhood has started. So let me continue reading this. So it's been a tough day, and we're grateful to you for being a Robinhood customer. In light of the extraordinary market conditions this week, we temporarily limited buying for certain securities this morning. Let me tell you what that means. That means that you were only allowed to sell your shares of GME GameStop stock. You couldn't buy. No buying allowed. Starting tomorrow, we plan to allow limited buys of these securities. We'll continue to monitor the situation and may make adjustments as needed. So tomorrow, they're just going to allow. They're going to allow you in a free market. Hi, Benitez. How you doing, buddy? They're just going to allow you in a free market to trade. They're going to allow you to trade. You're supposed to be trading. That's what the stock market is all about. It's not to protect the billionaires, the hedge funds, and the investment traders. It's not to protect these people. Okay? But we're finding out that, hey, actually it is. Hey, what's up? Julian Gonzalez, what's going on? It is here to protect the wealthy. Robinhood should be called Sheriff of fucking Nottingham because it's the exact opposite of Robinhood. This was a temporary decision made to best continue serving you and was not an easy one to make. We know it's led to frustration and confusion, and we wanted to provide some clarity. Give me the clarity, Robinhood. Let me read this because this is the first time I'm reading it, and I cannot wait to hear your fucking clarity. As a brokerage firm, we may have many financial requirements, including SEC net capital obligations and clearinghouse deposits. That's not my problem. My problem is to make money for me and my family and support the livelihood of the people that I care about. Not your SEC net capital obligations and clearinghouse deposits. Protecting your billionaire friends is bullshit to the highest degree. I'm tired of this. Some of these requirements fluctuate based on volatility in the markets and can be substantial in the current environment. These requirements exist to protect investors and the markets. We take our responsibilities to comply with them seriously, including through the measures we have taken today. To be clear, this decision was not made on the direction of any market maker we route to or other market participants. That is bullshit. That is a complete fucking lie. I will hold their fucking feet to the fire to tell me that's not a lie. To be clear, this decision was not made on the direction of any market maker we route to or other market participants. Maybe it wasn't made. Maybe they didn't tell you to do it, but you knew what you were doing. The past year in particular has shown us that the financial markets are for everyone, not just institutional investors and hedge funds. We've seen a new generation enter the market, and they are sparking conversations about what it means to be an investor. We stand in support of you, our customers. Democratizing finance for all means giving more people access, not less. That is a complete contradiction of what you are saying today. That's a complete and total fallacy, and I am tired of it. That is complete, utter bullshit. Tired of it. Excuse me. I'm tired of it. That's a lie. That's bullshit. We'll keep monitoring market conditions. We'll update this Help Center article. Excuse me. It's Help Center article with the latest changes. We also published a blog post today regarding today's events. Blah, blah, blah. Thank you again for being a Robinhood customer. We're so grateful for your support. Guess what, Robinhood? Hey, Robinhood, you no longer have my fucking support. All right. You no longer have my support. I will never use your steaming pile of shit site again. Never, ever, 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 ever again. What's up, Jay Hathaway or Hathaway? Tired of it, bro. I'm completely tired of it. I've had enough. I've had enough for a long time. And I don't think we should all put up with this shit. And we're not. We're not. I mean, there was a lot of people today who were marching the beat of their own drum. And it was smart. It was good to get out there and make your voice heard in this crazy, crazy, crazy market. You know, it is absolutely insane. I'm going to try to get somebody on the chat with me to to talk to me about this, somebody who might have a different perspective or possibly a unique perspective, but I don't know if he's around, yo. But yeah, I am tired of this nonsensical bullshit. This is what you get. This is what you get when the power shifts to us. This is what you get. You get widespread panic from the elite, from the establishment, from the same people that have been voted in by 80-something million Americans. This is what you get. You get a bunch of contradictory lies. You get a bunch of bullshit. You get a bunch of corporate lingo, mumbo jumbo, protecting their own social interests, their own asses, and shutting out the normal, regular American people who need to literally make enough money to escape this bullshit matrix that we're all stuck in. And one way out, okay, one way out of this bullshit situation that we're in is to get enough money to get out. And I hope, dude, I hope there was, because I missed GameStop. I missed it. Whoops, my bad. I was told about it at $50. I said, no thanks. And that was my mistake. But I'll never miss it again. And this is something that I'm obviously passionate about. I'm tired of it. This is why I love Bitcoin. This is why I've been praising Bitcoin for years now and saying that Bitcoin is a literal bridge to eventual wealth. Hello. Bagel is dead. Why is your bagel dead? That's what I want to know. I'm also, just so you know, YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm streaming on TikTok as well, using the old cell phone. But man, I'm just tired of it. I think it's a bunch of absolute horse shit. Let's jump to Twitter and let's see what's going on the Twitter feed. And we're going to talk about whatever's trending. We're going to talk about. We're going to talk about whatever is trending right now. That's what we're going to do. Because I'm tired. I'm tired of it, man. And of course, the first thing that's trending, Novak says its COVID-19 vaccine was 89.3% effective in UK trials, but less effective against South Africa variant. Oh my God. Who is the GOAT? The GOAT of professional wrestling? The GOAT of professional wrestling? Is that what you're trying to ask me? The GOAT of professional wrestling? The GOAT of pro wrestling. I don't know, man. Flair, probably. I would say Flair. It's probably your best bet. Dogecoin. Doge. Dogecoin, a cryptocurrency originally started as a joke, is up 72%. Reddit is at it again. Here are some screenshots from a Reddit board called Satoshi Street Beats. Satoshi equals mysterious founder of Bitcoin. Posts encouraging people to send Dogecoin to $1, currently just over 1 cent. This was 17 hours ago. Who was the GOAT? Not NFL. Who was the GOAT in the NFL? Tom Brady. I mean, I think Tom Brady easily. I think even without next Sunday's Super Bowl win, which I'm predicting will happen, I think Tom Brady is the GOAT for sure. I'm absolutely not a Tom Brady. Well, I am a Tom Brady fan. For many years, I wasn't. But now I'm old enough to understand that it's very hard to not be a fan of the greatest of all time. It's like when I was a kid, I could not stand Michael Jordan. I wasn't a big Michael Jordan fan. I couldn't stand him because every time Michael Jordan would play the Knicks, I really liked the Knicks. Every time he would play the Philadelphia 76ers, I liked them too. Every time he would play the Orlando Magic, I was a fan of them. He would systematically destroy them. But now as an adult, you know, he's obviously the GOAT. LeBron James is not better than Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant was not better than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is somebody who I now love and respect. LeBron is not the GOAT of basketball. That's a bold-faced lie. LeBron is not the GOAT. Sorry. Michael Jordan's the GOAT of professional basketball. Michael Jordan's the GOAT of professional basketball until he pretty much decides when he's not. I mean, LeBron, there isn't much that LeBron James can do in this era where you stack your team, where you use free agency. NASA, the devil, I agree. NASA sucks. But These players today, they utilize free agency to build super teams to win titles. Michael Jordan was on the Chicago Bulls during a time where they were one of the worst, absolute worst franchises in the NBA. That's when he entered the Bulls. And what did he do? That team was built around him. But it wasn't built by signing high-ticket free agents like Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade and whatever. Melanoma is the most dangerous type of skin cancer. Thank you so much, Sal Hodge. I agree, man. LeBron is the best NBA player of all time, no cap. I don't know what no cap means, but that's a fucking lie. That is not true. And if that's your opinion, that's okay. I mean, that could be your opinion. But to say no cap, I don't know what no cap means. If you want to give me a definite, if somebody can please give me a fucking definition of what no cap means, I would be grateful. I just found out what bet means. Somebody said to me, yeah, bet. And I said, like, what do I say after you say bet? What do I say? Do I say bet back? Is that what I say back to? When you say bet, do I then say bet? Is bet like a goodbye or like a acknowledgement of a yes? Like, I don't know. I don't know what the hell bet means other than, betting. No cap. And that mean not lying. Okay. Well, dude, I don't think you're lying. I actually think you actually believe that LeBron James is the GOAT. I'm sorry, dude. You must not have watched a lot of Michael Jordan stuff, man. If you can really believe that LeBron James is a better basketball player than Michael Jordan. Like, no. Nah, dude. I've watched them both. LeBron James and me are the exact same age. When I was a senior in high school, that's when LeBron James got to the NBA. What's up? Recon Raider. Recon Raider 1. What is up, dude? We're on YouTube. We're on TikTok. And we're chilling. We're having a good time. We're drinking coffee. We're talking about Dogecoin, baby. The world of the Dogecoin. Dogecoin, let me just tell you, Dogecoin is completely useless. It has no intrinsic value. It's a meme coin. It's something that is fun, that people invest in to pump up and take some profit and then go do what they want with, If Dogecoin hits $1, I will literally do the no pants dance on Twitter. I will get, if Dogecoin hits $1, I am going to make this public. Okay? On this live stream, I am going to make this public. If Dogecoin hits $1, I will dance on TikTok in nothing but my boxers. Okay? And you will all be scarred for life for seeing what I look like in nothing but my boxers. I'm just kidding. I actually look pretty good for old man. I actually look decent for an old man. I'm not going to lie. Like I actually look decent for an old guy. I'm not even being, arrogant or anything. I mean, at 36 years old, I'm happy I look the way I look. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be a dick, guys. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm not trying to be somebody that isn't a role model. I want to be your role model. I want to be there to help you with everything. All right. So Dogecoin, I'm thinking. Let's get it to $1. How about that? Dogecoin. Doge is rising. Here come the shorty apologists. Give them no respect. Get shorty. Thank you, Elon Musk. Look, Elon Musk is the second or first richest man on the planet. It keeps fluctuating between him and Bezos. It's like up and down. Each day it's like different or something. And the thing about it, and look, in reality, some of these like crown princes and these kings and these people that own entire countries, like those people are actually the richest people. They just have vaults of like gold and jewelry, and they're actually the richest people. They're the type of people that have literally like trillions of dollars. Elon Musk is just the most, the richest man in the world on the books. Like it's that simple. But he's given respect to the Doge. He's giving respect to the Doge, man. Doge, yes, sir. Oh, there we go. Doge. Let's get crazy with the Doge. Me getting ready to throw all my savings into Doge coins. Let's fucking bet on this. Let's bet on this shit. I'm going to be, Bill Gates does not have the most money. No, Bill Gates, Bill Gates used to have the most money. Bill Gates is close. Definitely on the list. Forbes billionaires for 2020. The richest in 2020. Jeff Bezos is the world's wealthiest person for a third year in a row, despite giving $36 billion worth of his Amazon stock to his ex-wife, Mackenzie Bezos, as part of their divorce settlement. Holy, absolute, holy crap. I would have banged Jeff Bezos for 36. What was that? How much was it? How much did you say? 36 billion worth of his Amazon stock. Yeah, I would have been Jeff Bezos' wife for $36 billion. No, let's make no mistake about it. For $36 billion, yeah, Jeff, I'm in. Let's do it, man. I will put on the wig and everything. All right. You're the richest person on the planet. Okay. All right, so let's continue reading this. I'm reading this straight from Forbes, and it will be on my YouTube page. Please, if you can, if you're watching me live on TikTok, please head over to my YouTube page, youtube.com/PWPNation, and subscribe now. All right, let's see here. Richest men in the world. Richest people on earth, I should say. Let's be politically correct, Jay. You don't want to be saying men because women could be on this list, although I doubt it. All right, here we go. Jeff Bezos is the world's wealthiest person for the third year in a row. He's worth $113 billion, buoyed by a 15% rise of Amazon shares since our 2019 list. Boy, oh boy. The e-commerce giant he runs has been in the spotlight amid the pandemic. Of course it has. Bill Gates keeps his spot as number 2, followed by luxury goods tycoon Bernard Arnault, who nudged out Warren Buffett to move into the number 3 spot for the first time. So that's interesting. So Musk isn't on this Forbes list, but I mean, 2 hours ago on This Is Money website, we're talking MSN.com. This is money on MSN. World's richest man, Elon Musk, gets richer with 197 million bonus that burns up a third of Tesla's annual profit. What? Tesla boss Elon Musk has scooped up a bonus worth, I mean, this is, I don't know what pounds, 200 million pounds, 1/3 of the electric car maker's entire annual profit. I don't know what 200 million pounds is. Raiders are the best NFL team. Wrong. I'm going to say wrong. Here's the best NFL team. New York, New York. These vagabond shoes are melting away. Bum, ba, bum, bum. I'm going to be a brand new part of it. In old New York, bump, ba-dum, bump. If I can make it there. Okay, cool. Let's do it. All right. I'm going to have a friend join me on this in just a minute. So Elon Musk is, according to this article today, once again, or still is, the world's richest man. And that's due to Tesla's unbelievable stock. Hey, thanks for the follow. Is Zayak a fan? You know, a Sayak. Oh, yeah. All right. So where were we? All right. So we were looking at the world's richest man. And for what reason? Oh, yeah. We were looking at the Twitter trends, and that's what I want to go back to is Twitter trends, because that's what I do on the show. I look at Twitter trends. I like looking at coinmarketcap.com. I like seeing what's going on with conspiracies. I like seeing what's going on in the world, man. I like all kinds of shit. I like having a good time, like having fun, like not taking myself so damn seriously. I've never seen Michael Jordan play live because you're probably too young. Yeah, you don't need to see him play live. Go look at some highlights. There was no one like Michael Jordan. There was nobody like him. He was the best player on the floor in every game he ever played. You understand that? There wasn't maybe when he got old, when he started playing for the Wizards in 2003 or whatever it was, 2001. I think it was 2001. When he started playing for the Washington Wizards in 2001, maybe at that point, he was no longer the greatest player on the face of the earth. But to say that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan, man, you're like smoking something, because that's definitely not true. I don't know anybody who would actually legitimately think that. But hey, look, if that's your opinion, that's fine. But I would suggest going to watch some Michael Jordan, bro. That's all. Top tweets, GME and AMC. You know what? This is from @RickyStocks with a Z at the end. You know what's going on is bad when even Ted Cruz and AOC agree on something. AOC, I can't even say. I have trouble saying her name sometimes. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. AOC, Sandy Cortez. She says, this is unacceptable. We now need to know more about Robinhood's decision to block retail investors from purchasing stock while hedge funds are freely able to trade the stock as they see fit. As a member of the Financial Services Committee, I'd support a hearing if necessary. Tell him, AOC. And then Ted Cruz fully agrees. And then AOC then goes and rips him a new asshole because that's what she does. That's what she's good at. That is her best play, is to just rip people apart. Ty Wynn with a fire tweet. Just requested to deactivate my Robinhood account and had to send an email to them first. And he says, you fucked the small guys. Goodbye. Do you know how many millionaires could have been made today if there wasn't clear market manipulation by Robinhood and other trading apps and banks and brokerages like TD Ameritrade, and at the end of the day today, E-Trade, which I am really pissed off about. I was lucky. I was able to get 10 shares of AMC super early on. I grabbed 10 shares of AMC. I went back at the end of the day to get a few more shares. I was going to get 6 more shares because I already made 20%. And guess what? I couldn't do it. And why couldn't I do it? Because they shut down trading on AMC stock. Why did they do that? Because they're screwing over the little guys. They're screwing over the small guys. They're screwing over the retail investors like myself, like you, like everybody out there, brother. And it's not cool. I don't like it. Boom. Going to have the great personal friend of mine, the great Tubby Emu, joining me on YouTube in a minute. If you're not watching on YouTube and you're in TikTok, you're not going to be able to hear Tubby. So jump over to YouTube if you want. But he should be putting in a request to join the show in a couple minutes. But yeah, jump over to YouTube. Watch us on YouTube. This whole AMC GME thing reminds me of this scene from Star Wars. I'm not a Star Wars guy, but maybe, I don't know, maybe you guys understand what this means. I don't know what this means. Maybe Tubby would understand because I don't. I have no idea. AMC and GME shareholder meeting next week. See, here's the funny thing about this, bro. Our freaking mainstream media bullshit, crackpipe, idiot morons at CNN, at MSDNC, at probably Fox. I don't even know where else, you know? Wow, GameStop up 50% in extended trading. Holy crap. This is unbelievable, man. This is unlike anything I've ever seen before in stocks. I've seen it in cryptocurrency over and over and over again, time and time again. I've seen it in crypto, like consistently, man. But in the stock market, I haven't seen much of this. And I'm still rather new to the stock market too. I'm not even like a old school stock market kind of guy. I am a new investor by those kind of standards. I've only been in the game for 5-6 years. And what I'm seeing here is unbelievable. Now I'm pulling up, that's actually really funny. It's like the idiots a couple of weeks ago storming the Capitol, and there's like banners of GameStop and AMC. That's funny. But the problem with the mainstream media is they're blaming this on Trumpism because that's all they can do. And look at this. I got my good friend, my pal. I got Tubby with me. What's up? Are you?
Yeah, no, I'm here.
There he is.
I was trying to get the thing. Man, I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about a bunch of drama that, you know me, I'm on the opposite end of this. This is why you're probably asking me this crap. Look at those memes, man. Listen. What have you already said so far about this crap? Because I'm just trying.
So here's where I started, dude. Here's where I started. Give me a second. So I looked at my email, right?
Yeah.
And I literally read the email I got from Robinhood, and I want to. I'll bring it up on the screen. Yeah, you probably got the same email. I want to bring it up on the screen real quick one more time so you can take a look at it. But good to actually talk to you person to person for once rather than just DMs, man.
Yeah, it's
actually cool.
Yeah, we always start podcasts and stuff. I'm like, I don't know how my audio is. Like, I'm sitting here with this mic that I could be filming on, and I don't have headphones for the These. I need wired headphones into my computer. So
Yeah, hey, we don't got to be fancy, brother. We ain't got to be fancy. So this is how we started it, man. It's not E-Trade. It's Robinhood literally apologizing for what they did today. For they have all this mumbo jumbo in here that the SEC net capital obligations and clearinghouse deposits. We have financial requirements, blah blah blah. I'm sure all of this is legit, but this part really hurts my feelings. To be clear, this decision was not made on the direction of any market maker we route to or other market participants. Bullshit, bro. Bullshit. What do you think about this?
Okay, so I mean, like as far as Robinhood goes, like out of all this stuff, like I have other feelings that I want to get on this stock eventually, but like with the Robinhood trades this morning, like I only have like I think $7 on Robinhood, right? So I don't have much money on Robinhood, but I think I went to sell and I tried to go in and buy. And what pissed me off last night when I was trying to buy, because I was actually trying to put in money on Naked, I think Genius Brands, I think a couple other things. I was trying to plunk down a little bit of money.
Mhm.
And it said stocks weren't available. They were delisted last night. And then they became available, but then you couldn't buy out. And then obviously they locked everybody out of their positions. You could only close out today. But they say it's not. I don't want to say it's not any market thing. Like you could blame it on anything, right? I mean, a lot of the stocks, like at the start of the market, everything that I was on my watch list of 40 stocks were down. Like there was nothing down. So you could technically say it was for everything, but yeah, I think Robinhood's covering their ass a little bit. I also feel like they abruptly took a lot of the blame today. Like I feel like one of the things we forget in technology platforms, and this is where you and I butt heads a lot, is like stuff like on Twitter or on YouTube or Facebook. Like there is so much content that gets uploaded that you have to hold a platform like responsible for trying to take stuff down. But there literally is only so much you can do. And like in the case of Robinhood today, like they had to do like what they had to do. Now it does suck with. Did you get into all this stuff like who invests in Robinhood and who their biggest people are and how they covered their ass today?
No,
That's a
not
complete.
really, not really. I didn't. If you want to get into some of that, you can. But I'm just going to push back a little bit on that because they did not have to. They did not have to shut down trading today. They didn't have to do it. They did it. They did it because they wanted to do it because they have interests outside of the scope of what's happening on Wall Street Bets on Reddit. They have interests that are important to them, and they needed to do what they needed to do. Like you said, I do agree with you on that. They had to do what they had to do. I'm sure there were people within their organization who pushed back on it and said, look, we can't do this. We're going to piss off a lot of people. And whoever was in charge said, look, this has to happen or else it's going to be consequences that we can't make up. Who knows? But I just don't think they necessarily absolutely 100% had to do this.
Well, okay. So the thing about most people don't know about Robinhood is Robinhood's biggest moneymaker comes from selling our data. Like,
boom. That was their business plan from the beginning, right?
Yeah. So it's like they basically, the best way I can give it to somebody that has no idea what the hell we're talking about. Think of Robinhood like, I think Amazon would be a good comparison. They've launched a marketplace and they're letting everybody sell their products. And then they're going and trying to rip off those products, except they're not the ones actually ripping off. Like in Amazon's case, they take your product, they mold it down, they sell it, they strip you out, they cut you out. Robinhood, on the other hand, like comes in and sells your trade. So it's like allowing you to skim off everything. It's like YouTube basically got a 10-year category, like catalog of videos of us tagging and titling. Robinhood is basically able to sell this data, and that high volume trade data, like that's why I feel like you like this and a lot of people like this feel good story, is it goes back to like the crash in 2008 and like high frequency. Like it is a weird time to like come full circle. What, 13 years later? Mm-hmm. Like that was when I was like getting first into stocks back in high school, and that was back like when I was in like advanced marketing when they're like, here, take $10,000 and play money, and I'm sitting there and I got it by 40 grand like a week and a half in. Like, so I feel like Robinhood is one of those apps, like you have to get a lot of people in. And I think this is what people don't realize is I kind of look at the apps today, like Robinhood, Cash App, especially, for sure. Cash App is dummy investing. It's investing where, yes, you can put your money on like Bitcoin, Apple, Snap, all the big ones, but you can invest where the money's going to be. Like you're already betting on set money. if that makes sense. Like
It
it's
does. Yeah, it makes sense.
like all the trading I'm trying to do because like I use other accounts for stuff, so I don't even like use my bank, so I can't even add in there. I was trying to like get a Chime account set up to try to add in some money in my trading accounts, and like all the actual like good stock are off of the dumb apps. So I feel like there's a lot of people that are investing in for the first time right now that are seeing all these crazy roller coaster things, and they could have either made a lot of money in the last couple of days or maybe they lost some money. I'm still a little worried. I think Robinhood, like we talked about, that letter, I think they had to shut down trading because I still think, and I know this goes to like you and I butted heads about protests and rioting and everything all year. I still think there could be charges from the SEC of everything that's been happening.
You mean
Like,
charges from the SEC to against the people who coordinated this I don't even know what even to call it. Like what do you even call this? It's not a pump and dump. It's almost like a I don't know, a backlash maybe, to use some WWE lingo, is a backlash against the hedge funds out there maybe. I don't even know what to call what's happening right now.
well, I mean, like that's if you just look at like social media in general, like where are you getting the information? Who's it from, right? Like it's all great to have this feel good story, and I have this belief, and I've said this for a long time. I don't care that like the people that have been a part of like Bitcoin and crypto for a long time are getting rich. I just think people should know like there's a reason people are pushing stuff, and like there's a reason that like Wall Street Bets is existing right now to push it. And like, yes, you can have a vendetta to screw in. I know you got the Bobby Axelrod reference today because Billions is one
I
of my
did.
favorite shows.
I love that show. It's a
I
great
love
show.
Billions. So it's like at the end of the day, like there's going to be a lot of small people getting like rich and stuff, but it's the same trend that happened in daily fantasy sports. And this is what I worry about, especially with dummy apps, is because the information you need as a person investing in your money, it's like the people that are like shorting money right now and borrowing against and selling on their commissions and trading basically are playing with house money right now. What they need is new investor money coming in. They need like all of the flood of this small money of people kind of making some back, and because it's just a flood of new money, or else you're playing with the bank's money. You're playing with the house's money essentially. So I feel like this was almost a way to like sucker in money. Like I have money sitting on AMC bet today. Cash App messed up. I think Cash App just emailed me about my trade because I tried to get into AMC.
I got in at $9. I got 10 shares of AMC at $9. And then I was up 20%. And I tried to go back to E-Trade and buy 6 more shares. Right. That's it. I was only going to buy 6 more shares, $60, whatever. Because it was up to $10 and change. And I could not do it. And I couldn't on E-Trade, where you're looking at right now, you're looking at the extended hours trading numbers of GME at $317 per share, which is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But like they shut down these trades. So I could not buy at 4. It was like right before 4:30. It was like 4:15-ish. I could not buy AMC stock no more. Couldn't do it.
Yeah. And I think so I really messed this up. So last night I was like busy and I was like not paying attention to anything. So I saw all the aftermarket trading. But since like again, I only have Webull trading to go in after hours. Pretty much I'm locked out. Like I can't do anything. I don't have options. I don't have anything. So it's like I'm sitting there watching all last night. So my dumbass this morning when I put in the money on AMC, like I think I had told you in DM, like I had it marked for I think when I had looked at it, it was at 19. And I said, all right, it's gonna tank to about 10. And I forgot because it's a dumb app on Cash App that forgetting it's like Webull or like anything else. I was buying it at $19 a share at an order of 2. And it would only fill if there was 2 shares at that order. So it still hasn't filled, and I got to look at my email here really quick. But I'm sitting there looking like how dumb it was, man. You're locked out. If I would have got in, this is what I was talking about, stupid money. If everybody had put in a rush on AMC, basically you just funded AMC. Like the pandemic that's wiped out AMC's business, we all like pretty much refunded it. Like they got their debt raised, they got out of, they got all the money they needed to sustain the next year. Now they're like they're fully set, kind of like all the employers that have laid people off. So these markets have been a huge mover, and I just feel like you have to move past the money that people are making today. I think this is going to be a big thing going forward.
You think like the people are going to start propping up more of these small businesses in the future. Well, not small businesses. Let me be clear. These are huge businesses, but they're huge businesses that are ultimately failing because of the pandemic. That's mostly the reason. And also GameStop is a little bit kind of like they need to really redo their business plan. If you ask me, they should be more of like I don't know, instead of being a store, like a retail store, they should be like a gaming competition center. They should make their stores much bigger and have like live gaming inside it, like tournaments and stuff, and also be a retail store as well. But they should definitely use this opportunity, I think, to like rebrand them, because if they don't rebrand how they do business, they're not going to be around for too much longer, because you don't even need the physical copy of games anymore for the most part. Well, you're more of a gamer than I am, so I don't know, you could probably speak better on this than I can.
Well, yeah, like you can get your games anywhere, but the big thing that GameStop came out on top, and we're looking towards like the digital future, and this is where I went heavy on GameStop. I like, again, like a lot of the stuff that I do now is just looking at it in sheets and like pretty much just sitting around taking stabs in the market of guessing where it's going to go. And GameStop, once it came out that they got a cut of digital revenue from Xbox and PlayStation, that's huge, because that means any console they sell, they now get a percentage of every purchase going forward.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's big. I had no idea. That's huge.
Yeah, that's where the GameStop. So that's where like everybody that's treating this like a game right now with GameStop, all these brands that are getting bought up and snapped up. And for the people that are watching, I have a feeling like it's not about the business. Like it's like what you just said, and this brings up what I think the play actually is on the retail, is on the actual properties, because like you said, if you want GameStop to expand into bigger centers. Well, who also got short squeezed by GameStop? People that GameStop buys a lot of their landlords, essentially. They got squeezed and like held up for their stock. Same thing happened with the other AMC's landlord. Their properties got stocked up. So it's like everything that we're focused on now, like you were just talking about GameStop's business going forward. Now GameStop's business going forward also depends on like having favorable lease terms and things like that. So there's a lot of things that I think if you're just now getting into investing and you're paying attention, is that mom and pop business that like opens up in your town. And I've told Jay this, and I told everybody this for the 1,000th time. Nothing pisses me off more like my old town, where I had 25 bars. Most of them were not successful. A 26th bar opened up in the town, and that person bitched about government regulations. The reason my business is failing is because of the government. Bro, you opened a 26th bar in a town of nobody. Like there has to be a certain point where businesses get screwed, but this is where stocks can actually get squeezed. Like look at what happened to Toys R Us. You take on the debt, you basically debt finance them, and then you basically take over their entire business. And are we seeing that now with GameStop? Like, did you see the troll this morning from CNBC where they literally said why GameStop shares were soaring? Did you see that hilarious troll?
I might have, yeah, I might have seen that.
They were on saying like the reason the stock's going up is because of millennial their attachment to the game. Like what the dude? Like yeah. I'll take media at its face, because yes, I know stories are basically there to like elicit money from advertisers, whatever. I've come to accept that. So I look for what the slant of the story actually is, and the slant of that story is you just make me seem really dumb. Like, I don't know what more to say than that. Like, what producer puts that on air?
No, you're absolutely right. I wanted to pivot for a second and shift over to the cryptocurrency market, because we're starting to see this same thing. And this has happened, historically with cryptocurrency. People get behind it. There's pump and dumps in crypto nonstop. And we're starting to see this happen right now, actually, in the cryptocurrency game with one specific coin. And it is a coin that actually has no intrinsic value. It doesn't serve any kind of purpose outside of just being a meme coin, meaning that it's a meme of a little Shiba Inu dog that is cute, that people love and people get behind, and they pump it. And this is Dogecoin. As you can see on the screen here, holy crap, we're already up to 3 cents.
Are you kidding me? I'm rich. Holy God. Look at me.
Bro, look at this, dude. Let's take a look at the Doge chart right here. So obviously the green is the price. So the green line is the price. The rest of it is like against Bitcoin, and the other line is the market cap. So there's different lines on this graph. But look at, oh my God, straight shot to the moon. This is exactly what has been happening with GME. Look at this nonsense, dude. Imagine if I wish I would have bought 2,000 Doge at 0.0089. I don't even know what the math is, but holy crap, dude.
Yeah, again, we're going to be the people that are like either getting in on this or promoting it, whatever. Because I still think, and this is my big thing, like all of us tweeting out, like, do you remember, like, we've all talked about censorship on Twitter, right? Like, and
Yeah.
going back before it was Twitter cracking down, it was actually the government that wanted to crack down on Twitter. And it was Elon Musk tweet specifically getting in trouble with the SEC, tweeting about, I'm going to sell when it gets to 420.69, right?
Mm-hmm.
He laid out this game plan like 2 or 3 years ago for Tesla stock. Everything he said just happened with GameStop. He was talking about his stock. Like, if you honestly go back and look at the timeline, like, I still think the Wall Street bets, if I had to put a bet on it, is Elon Musk, because everything about the short selling, it all lines up with Tesla getting to 420.69 and selling and just dumping it back down. Like, if this is a big ploy to go after short sellers to prove a point, I think it's hilarious, but I think there's going to be like downfall, because like this Doge currency, like, let's say it is Elon Musk. That's awesome, hilarious. My man's taking Tesla money, pumping in some Dogecoin. Um, who do you think owns the most then? Like, right? If he pushes the meme the most, do you think Elon Musk owns a lot of Dogecoin? Who do you think is like the biggest holder of Doge?
It's probably somebody that we don't know, but I would say Elon is up there. I would not be surprised if Jack Dorsey's got his filthy hands in it too. That
Mr.
dude loves
Beast?
crypto. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
got it. I would bet he's got it, man. These billionaires, they got it. They're on it. And I want to actually bring up this news story from Forbes that just dropped 1 minute ago. We should take a look at this and see what Forbes is saying about the old Doge, because I'm just curious. It's Doge time. Dogecoin surges as Reddit traders push to make it the crypto GameStop. The value of Dogecoin, a cryptocurrency originally invented as a joke, surged Thursday as Reddit traders target it in an attempt to mirror the mind-blowing share rises in heavily shorted companies like GameStop, Blockbuster, and AMC. I cannot believe I am reading the word Blockbuster in this article. At the time of this writing, Doge is up 56% over the last 24 hours and experienced a 1,421% increase in trading volume, according to crypto data from CoinMarketCap. Reddit users on the R cryptocurrency and Satoshi Street Beats, et cetera, to squeeze out Wall Street shops from heavily shorted stocks and urged people to buy Doge. Many are enthusiastically doing so, and one thread titled Dogecoin is the next GME Bitcoin said getting Doge to $1 a coin, it's currently around a penny, would be an incredible achievement and completely change the crypto market. Dogecoin to the moon. Let's fucking go. What do you think, bro? Like, how much? I'm holding 2,000 Doge. What do you got? You got a few thousand?
I only got like 500.
That's
Like,
fine, bro.
I literally took my, because like I said, I have yet to add the brokerage, like link the account yet. Because so like I said, I had to sign up for Chime, and I've been out of town. I've been away from my house for like 4 months, so I have to drive back and get the damn card to go ahead. Like, I was gonna put in money. Like, Matt and I were sitting there a couple days ago because he was going to invest in 200. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna give you some money, play around with it, because all my stock hits have been hitting. But it's like, yeah, all you fucking dudes in the crypto space, fuck you. Jay, this includes you. This includes like kid behind a camera. I'm sitting over here having a jolly old time doing stock market, going up my 25, 50%. I'm happy with 100%. You fuckers are coming in with like 5,000% return, making it look ridiculous and making like investing look like a joke. The tweet that, I don't know if it was in the same article that you had, it's inevitable, and it's the meme from Elon Musk back from last July. The Dogecoin standard, and then it's the Doge and the big snow cloud going towards the global financial system. Yeah, there you go. You got it. So I don't know what I'm owning. Like you said, we don't know what this is. I've said for the long time, like, for all we know, data is like they're mining every piece of our information. Like, who knows? Like, maybe Dogecoin is like every coin exposes something. It has all this stuff. Like, we joked about Robinhood. Basically, their business model is selling that high trade volume. What if somebody is mining that high trade volume and exposing the coin? Like, I don't know. Like, what is this data? What the heck is a Dogecoin?
So let me. That's funny. You
I own 500 of them.
That was my next pivot. I was going to head over to actually Dogecoin website, the official Dogecoin website, and we're going to take a look at exactly what this is. So here we go. Dogecoin.com. Dogecoin is an open source peer-to-peer digital currency, exactly the same as Bitcoin as far as the definition is concerned, favored by Shiba Inus worldwide. So it's a joke, man. Start using Dogecoin today. Windows, OS X, Linux, Android, Source, blah, blah, blah. What is Dogecoin? Dogecoin is a decentralized peer-to-peer digital currency, etc. Think of it as the internet currency. What's with Dogecoin and the dog? Doge is our fun, friendly mascot. The Shiba Inu is a Japanese breed of dog that was popularized as an online meme and represents Dogecoin. Let me just tell you something, bro. When I first started getting into the crypto game was about 2016, towards the end of 2016. I heard about this coin super early on. And I had knew it as a meme coin, as a joke coin, as something that just had no value. It was pointless. But if you followed it on Twitter, there was a million jokes surrounding this dog. They would take this dog and they would put it over LeBron James's face, or they'd put it over, Donald Trump's face. And they would do all kinds of funny, goofy stuff. And I would watch it on like Binance, because that's where I was doing a lot of my cryptocurrency trading at the time, was Binance. And I would watch it like skyrocket to like close to a penny and then come down. It would almost always hit a penny and then it would shoot down. And I was just thinking the entire time, like, people are trading on this, large amounts of this coin, and making a ton of money in trades. How do I get in on this? So at one point I bought like 10,000 of these things at like a fraction of a penny, and I still sold at a fraction of a penny. And I think I made like a couple bucks. I didn't make a lot of money. I made like maybe like $50 or something. But I wish I still had those 10,000 Dogecoins right now, bro. I wish I would have had the same strategy that I have with Bitcoin, the hold for life, never sell strategy. But I just thought this was a joke and it wouldn't go anywhere. But it turns out, thank you, Elon Musk. Thank you, Wall Street Bets. Let's make some quick cash, bro. Let me turn my 2,000 Doge. Let me turn my $50 investment into Doge into $2,000. Okay.
Okay. The hold from that point is fine. Okay. So I feel like we always talk about this with Bitcoin. Have you ever like said where your position is from Bitcoin? Like when you got in on it? Like if you're not, if you're one of the recent people and you're on hold forever, that's a little, oh my God, that's a little scary. Yeah. Please tell me you're way before the bump.
I started throwing money at Bitcoin when it was around $3,000, bro. And I was throwing and I realized early in my investing that shit, I'm not going to put $3,000 into this, but holy crap, I could just buy Satoshis. I could just buy fractional shares of a Bitcoin. Sure, let me do that. So I started throwing a few $100 at it every once in a while. But my problem is I started cashing out for actual dollar bills and then using them for stuff. I would like take money and I would give it to my girl or give it to, buy dog food or buy a dinner or something. I was just using it for stuff when I should have just kept it, never did that. And I did that literally in and out of Bitcoin for 4 years, lost some, tried to do the trading thing, took a few $1,000 at one point, tried to trade it. I kept losing like a little bit because I wasn't timing it right. And then finally I was just like, fuck it. And I took all of it out and I kept doing that until I finally decided that I am never going to sell Bitcoin again. I'm just going to put the same amount of money into it every single week, no matter what. And then see what happens in 10 years, bro. Could I have zero money after that? Sure. I mean, who knows? It could just go away. Or maybe it goes up to $1 million per Bitcoin and I'm sitting pretty when I'm 60 years old. Who knows?
Okay. So, I mean, I'm never going to like get past people in the whole stuff, like, right? Because you just don't know. The fear of missing out. I think that's where I was this morning. I'm sitting there locked out of the trading platforms and I'm freaking out. I'm like, this sucks. I think it was like, I got up at 5 this morning to start working on it because trying to like, I hadn't even started looking at crypto yet. Like we said, this is before Doge even caught my mind this morning. And I was sitting there looking at the numbers and there's a couple things I wanted to get in on. And it was that damn Japanese, it was the one insurance company I sent you. There's another Japanese company I came across. So I feel like everything comes back to this Japanese dog, Japan, all these stocks I'm trying to pick up. The one thing I do have with Dogecoin though, that I'm curious on is, when you just said it's a play currency, right? Is that like back in the day, my dad fixed arcade games and in all the bars they had actual like the video pokers, and then they would go to the bar and you would gamble money, but you couldn't legally gamble. All the bars cash out. I can cash out in Dogecoin, right? And you didn't. Please tell me I didn't just buy a joke currency and give up.
No, you can. You can cash out. You can cash out. Yeah, you can cash out. You turn it into
cash.
It is a joke coin. It's a joke. Yeah. It's a joke because it has no intrinsic value. It was made. It's a peer-to-peer. It's the same as Bitcoin. It's built off.
That's the point, though. There's nothing. There's like, and that's where I've always still had some hesitation. Like, right? It's fun to go. And where I was trying to go with that was, if you're one of the person that you learn lessons along the way. I was the same in daily fantasy sports with DFS when it first came out. I was huge into it. I did pretty good. And then I feel like, if you were in the ground floor, though, and this is where, like, it sounds like I have hatred towards them, but, like, if you know to hold, like, let's say you were in on the ground floor of Bitcoin, Dogecoin, all these coins that are literally going to become the future because you're mining all this data that you're eventually going to expose. Like, right? Like every government in the world right now is getting hacked and exposed. And meanwhile, more and more data is getting mined. Like, I still don't know what any of that is, which may make me sound like a conspiracy theorist, but until we know what the data of a Dogecoin is, like, we're all just playing along. Think of all the people that are touting this right now. They just need us to make some money along the way. It's the same thing with daily fantasy, right? The reason DraftKings became such a big thing was because legalized gambling was literally 3 years away, but the only way legally to do it and get everybody's information to sign up to be able to like bring them to the casino rolls or to bring them to all the lotteries once they came to the States was through daily fantasy. So the investors spent billions of dollars pumping in ads and money to get people hooked because the real money is in the gambling. And then what we saw in the gambling markets, because that's the one I really missed out on, was, goddamn, I hate him, but Dave Portnoy and Penn Gaming. Like, god damn it. I had a legitimate shot. I told a buddy to get in on Penn Gaming. I think he made 600% return on Penn Gaming stock. Wow. When it first took off. So I feel like there's always a bigger play, and that's where my mind always is. Like, we can have fun with this Dogecoin, we can have fun with Bitcoin, but in the back of my head, I'm still going to wonder, what's it for? What's it going to be? It's because, like, I don't know if you were trolling me or not, but when I said the thing about the mining of the actual Bitcoin, like, the amount of power it takes, dude, like, that made mainstream. Like, I don't know if you said you don't watch mainstream TV, so I don't know if you watch TV, but it got to the point where from 2015 to 2018, mainstream TV shows were covering Bitcoin mining to the point where, like, they'd have, like, I think it was on Law and Order, where they got caught with, like, so much power was getting drawn. Mm-hmm. And, like, if you're trying to, like, get people rich, like, you could have people set up in specific towns. Like, you could go after, like, a country's infrastructure, right? Like, if you're a foreign, like, country and you want to attack somebody, you have them go to a place like that. And again, that may make me sound conspiracy theorist, but, like, that's why I treat these coins like, I'm going to throw $5 on it. I'm going to treat it like it's fun. But if you're throwing your life savings on it, I'm a little scared for you. So I appreciate the fact that you're holding.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, why not?
Yeah. So I wasn't really trolling you. You're right. I mean, it does take energy to do it, but we're at a point where you can make that relative to anything. Like, if you want to use that as a way to, like, fight against Bitcoin, you can use that against any industry. Like, how much energy does the Tampa Bay Buccaneers use? You know, how much energy is the Super Bowl going to use? You know,
but that's where, like, the Bitcoin mining, though, and, like, there's this room right here. If I had this office set up to mine Bitcoin, that could be as much as, like, 5 city blocks, though, dude. Like, that's so, like, I'm just saying, like, in the exploitation of
that could be it. That could be it. But you could also just be running one miner, one computer, and you could have a solar panel that's generating that energy.
Oh yeah, you can't.
And then it's cheap.
You saw what Russia did. Like, they literally just turned over a full naval base into, like, a complete, like, underground to preserve costs, because it was so expensive to run it. Like, I don't know if you saw that. Like, I don't even pull it up. No. Like, they built this massive globe and this, like, they took over this base just for mining, because the electricity costs in Russia or the Ukraine were so freaking high. They specifically built a village for this just to save money, because that's how they do it. So again, like, that's how I always look at it. So, like, I always love talking about it. I'm jealous of the people like you that are in and holding on it. Like I said, I treat Bitcoin right now like, I think I use Cash App, so every time I buy stuff, I get Bitcoin cash back. I love the fact that you get it right away. So it's like, you make a purchase, they throw Bitcoin your way. I let it sit there for like a day or two, and I cash out the next day, and I made a couple bucks for no reason, just because of Bitcoin cash back.
It's a beautiful thing, bro. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm making money now on Bitcoin because I have a fraction of my Bitcoin. I don't have all of it in this spot, but I have it on this app called Celsius, which actually gives you interest on your Bitcoin as it just sits there, man. You just collect interest on it. So, like, for example, I just only have enough to make a couple bucks of interest, but that's free Bitcoin for just having it sit on this app doing nothing. It's just free Bitcoin. And since I'm never going to trade it again, I'm never going to get rid of it unless, I shouldn't say never say never. Like, who knows what's going to happen? But my goal in my head is to have a big stack of Bitcoin, a huge stack by the time I'm 40. I'm 36 now. I got 4 years. I hope in the next 4 years, I can have a huge stack of Bitcoin that I can either hold on to, hedge against, borrow against if I need to, utilize it to make more money, utilize it to maybe create my own cryptocurrency. Man, I've got this crazy idea in my head about a cryptocurrency for all these different niches out there to try to keep that, because look, at the end of the day, money is only a value is as a value as the people that are behind that money. If everybody tomorrow said, you know what, fuck these dollar bills, we don't want to use this stuff, I don't like it anymore. If everybody said that in America, what would we do with all that paper? The Federal Reserve, all they literally have to do is type a number into the computer and the entire financial system in America changes. So at the end of the day, it's as strong as the people that are behind that. And that's what we're seeing with GME. That's what we're seeing with AMC. That's what we're seeing right now with Wall Street Bets, and what we will continue to see with Bitcoin as the years go on. That's what I truly believe. And believing in it is something that, hopefully you get to, because I want to see you enjoy this, because I still think it's early in the game to like start putting like $10, $20 a week into it. But look, dude, if you want to wait for the next big dip, which will come, it's not going to shake me out. Once Bitcoin drops from 35,000 to 10,000, I'm going nowhere, dude. I'm going nowhere. I'm just buying more because it's going back up to 35.
I mean, you can't say it's not, because you just look at the timeline of all this stuff. Like, at the end of the day, like, I'm still going to prefer just like traditional investing. And this could be the end of the financial markets. Like you said, you're looking at shorts and how these companies, like, there's so much at play. Like, when one person's pulling one lever, like if you just look at the amount of people now just on the trades with Robinhood, AMC, right, you have like the people that are, if you look at the social media in general, and I feel like this is why social media is going to get regulated. If you look at like, you could specifically, unlike in like illegal trades, like when we talk about the rich versus the poor trading, or like, and then we talk about crypto taking over, is the difference between the rich and the poor doing it is like the rich can like either get away with it or hide the paper trail. Like it's like you believe deep down, like when the bigger the conspiracy, the more like you cover the evidence up, right? So there's way more to hide. Well, there's nothing to hide when, like, let's say Wall Street Bets was like off an illegal insider trading tip, and they posted a piece of advice online, and then that piece of advice like vined down everywhere, and then every person from there gave their own slant. But if that original piece of information was illegal, and this is why like you're seeing lawsuits like when Hulk Hogan sued Gawker and won. This is why you see Peter Thiel funding the lawsuit against Hulk Hogan, like against these online websites. The accountability has been, and this is what I tried to say earlier with your tweets, with like going after like Trump first back in the day was Elon Musk going after his for SEC stuff, but it never came after like casual users, right? I have said for the longest time that social media regulation would come once it was used for what just happened. So like, where are we going to talk about this stuff very shortly? If you're deleting tweets, like if Twitter can seriously disrupt the financial markets to where the billionaires that look down upon like you or me or whoever truly believe that, like, how long are we going to have access to that? And then it's like, so when it comes to like actual like censorship of like, you talk conservative, liberal, whatever, I feel like everybody is blinded. And just like you're trying to say with creating a crypto for everything, everybody is so focused on their little niche, they're missing the big picture. Whether you're Trump trying to talk about conservative stuff or whether you're a liberal trying to talk about stuff, everybody is now starting to get hit and brought down a peg. So like, there's just something in me that's going to sit forever of, as our financial markets are kind of screwing up. It's like you had said, you are not loyal to Bitcoin in any way, shape, or form to where you had already said it. Once you make your Bitcoin, you can hedge against it. And like, I think that's something that's always going to mess with the markets. Like, you could own all the Bitcoin in the world today, and just like in the regular financial market, you can hedge against yourself tomorrow and screw all your fans and followers. Like, I feel like everybody that's getting in on this AMC, GME that you're trying to make a fortune on now, like I see all most of my friends, like I was at my buddy Matt's house, and for the first time, he woke up this morning and he said, I am seeing fucking people I've never heard talk about stocks, like basketball creators, dance moms, friends, family, everybody with like just an account hopping on to invest in. And like, for those people that got in right away, made some quick money, that's great. For everybody else, he kind of just gave up house money. We seem dumb, and everybody's going to just brush it off. Like, right? Enough of your friends made some money where it's believable for the ones that got in just a little late. And this is all that needs to keep happening. We talk about redistributing the wealth and everything. It's only going to take like a few hundred people, 1,000 people a week or whatever making some money. And the more people you bring in, the more these coins are going to blow up. So right now, I'm going to stay on Doge. Doge is the one I'm going to stay on. I'm going to ride it. If I'm going to hold anything, it's going to be Doge. And but I think other than that, I haven't looked at any crypto, dude. I don't know any other crypto besides Doge. I know like Ether and Bitcoin, XRP. Like I had a chance to get into Ripple and XRP and all that stuff back in the beginning, and I just didn't want to. Like I had friends that did right away, made a couple thousand. I was just like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I don't blame you, dude. I don't blame you. But there are some really good projects out there with cryptocurrency. Like if you want to look into a couple of them, feel free. XLM, Stellar Lumens is a good one. That's kind of like the baby brother of XRP. It was actually originally backed by Disney. It no longer is, but it has ties to Disney as like a digital currency that they were going to use for a project that I think never got off the ground a number of years ago. But they still have some kind of like good relationship with the people behind Stellar Lumens. So that's something to look into. I think it's only around 30 something cents a coin, if I'm not mistaken. But that's a good one. Also, Chainlink is one that has a huge like fan base behind it. Chainlink, I'm going to share the screen again to CoinMarketCap. Just give me a second so I can show you. Chainlink is something that I saw on crypto Twitter starting to blow up over the summer. Everybody was like, buy Link, buy Link, buy Link. And I'm like, shit, I should look into this Link coin. And I started looking at it, but I never pulled the trigger. I consolidated my cryptocurrencies into Bitcoin because I thought that was the right move. And turns out it was the right move, you know? But looking at this chart, I don't know anything about Polkadot. Like, this one is number 4 in market capitalization. Look at this number. $15 billion in Polkadot is out there. And of course, it pales in comparison to Bitcoin's $632 billion market cap, which is absolutely freaking unbelievable. This is another one. I mean, I have a buddy, ADA Cardano, that swears behind this coin. Now, funny story. I bought a bunch of Cardano back in 2017 for 11 cents, right? It shot up to like $1. It shot up to $1, but I was so new to the market that I didn't know when to take my money and when to sell. And I ended up losing it all because it went down to like a penny and then I sold. So I made a really, really bad bonehead mistake on Cardano, but now it seems to be steady, a little bit steady right now. And it's got a lot of hype behind it. It's a coin that's got a ton of hype. Moving down the screen here, we can say, what is Cardano? Proof of stake blockchain platform that says its goal is to allow change makers, innovators, and visionaries to bring about positive global change. And remember, dude, we've talked about this. This word matters. Global. The word global means a lot right now in America, as we saw by, I don't know if you checked into Bezos.
I mean, to people like you, I mean, like you love the word global. I'm still like, I think it's just a word, but I get it.
There's a global conspiracy, bro. The Great Reset's real. Okay. Globalism is something that is happening. You could go to the Davos World Economic Forum website and look at all their videos and propaganda about the Great Reset. Oh, you will own nothing. You will be spied on by your government all the time, and you will love it. You will have the most stress-free, happy life that you could ever imagine. Just listen to us at the Great Reset.
Time out. Just say that back one time and say that's not what we already have. Like you already don't own everything because everything we have is digital. So you have licenses to it. You don't actually own shit now because you don't get physical or DVD movies anymore. You get digital games, digital everything. So you don't own it. You have a license to it. At any point, you can get cut off. The one thing that really caught my attention, this is the way I think, you brought up that Disney coin that got abandoned.
Yeah.
If you talk about like the Great Reset, like one of the big things that sparks my mind now is the Super Bowl prices. I saw everybody talking how it's like $11,000 to sit in a shitty seat. And you talk about creating a niche coin. Imagine like before the pandemic, it would be hard to imagine because everybody's going to Disney World like constantly, right? But imagine if that Disney coin went through and people use that Disney coin. Like I've always looked at crypto coins as like a loyalty or rewards program, kind of in a way, to where if that Disney coin went through and you're basically the value of a Disney coin, and that's how much money Disney could extract from the market, is rather than do dynamic pricing or having to like set in a price for like Disney now, because like I couldn't even imagine Disney, right? So many people want to get out of the house and do stuff or whatever. You could pretty much charge anything you want. So a crypto coin where it just based on the market or demand or the pricing, like variable pricing, like they already have. If you were to switch from variable cash pricing to get enough people hooked on Disney, because I think the more brand loyalty you have, the easier coins are to get past. Like I think a Disney coin would be very successful. I think like a Marvel coin would be very successful. The more hardcore your fans are, you're gonna get. And then, like I said, it's just daily fantasy. Then you're just extracting their already hard-earned money. You're bringing into their system of Disney bucks, and the only way to cash out Disney bucks would be to find other people to buy your Disney stuff or whatever. So I feel like there are so many ways, and I wish, like I told you, I wish you would invent some of these things, man. Like you're talking about investing all the time. I think you could actually create these niche ones.
Well, I said it the other day to you, man, and Sean Ross Sapp, that guy he will not respond to me anymore. Like he's done responding to my bullshit. I think he's probably got me muted or blocked. Not blocked, but he's definitely. I think there's a good chance he's got me muted. But back in 2017, when I was like in the beginning of learning about cryptocurrency, I sat down at this exact desk I'm at now, and I had a notebook next to me, and I said, "How do I create a cryptocurrency to involve the entire wrestling community and the entire MMA community? Maybe separate, maybe both together into one type of kind of deal." And I thought about it for a while, and it's not that difficult to do. I just didn't have the attention span or mental capacity at the time to do it. And you just build off the Ethereum blockchain, use what's called an ERC20 token, which is basically a coin that you can make as many of them as you want, and you can use it for whatever you want. It's just a matter of getting enough people behind it, getting it listed on exchanges, and actually using it for a purpose. Now, my idea was to have it for the wrestling community, use it at independent wrestling shows, because at the time, obviously, we were going to independent wrestling shows, have Ring of Honor use it, have some of these smaller but growing companies use this, and not only use it for tickets, merchandise, maybe on-demand services online, but actually you could create a reward system that would reward your fans for using this currency to purchase whatever goods that you have. And then essentially the way it would work is the company that uses this currency, and of course they'll still take dollars. It doesn't have to be doesn't have to be completely this cryptocurrency idea that I had, but they could also take that money, put it back in the exchange, sell it for dollars if they want to, or just continue to stack it. Now, theoretically, it would work almost as the Ripple token works, whereas like Ripple holds, that's why there's SEC violations. They're going through a lawsuit right now with the SEC. It's a big mess, but Ripple holds a gigantic bag of XRP tokens, and they let them out and this is where their violation might come into play. They let them out as they see fit to the market, to the exchanges. Yeah. That's when they make all their damn money. So they manipulate the market in their own way to, I guess, hold on to the big bag of XRP and then let it out as they see fit. At the end of the day, I don't think this SEC lawsuit's going to go anywhere. And I think XRP is going to be free to be traded again on all the exchanges because it's shut down now on a couple of the big ones. So I do think at the end of the day, XRP is going to prevail and it's going to shoot up to the moon and skyrocket and be really great. But it's the same exact concept that I had in my mind about this crypto coin. Like say WWE wanted to create one, right? So they hold 1 billion of these coins and they put them literally onto the cryptocurrency exchange, Coinbase or Binance or one of these, and they promote it to their fans the same way they do everything else. They say, look, if you use this cryptocurrency to purchase the WWE network or to purchase a ticket to WrestleMania or whatever, we will give you some kind of reward, some kind of benefit to go along with it, because it would be beneficial to the WWE to use their own currency to get their fans to use for their products. And that's just was kind of like the basic outline of my idea. I don't know, might be shitty, might be something that doesn't work, but who knows?
Well, no, so like that same idea we had back in 2017, except we had from the content creator perspective, but to promote the shows. So like for the content side, the YouTubers, we had thought, okay, so what we need to do for independent wrestling is at this time, and it wasn't with Sean Ross Sapp, but I think it was me, Pulse, and what ended up they did Deadlock Now was back in 2016, 2017. I had basically gotten to the point where I was like, yo, fuck wrestling and fuck these bullshit fans that are never happy. And I think it was 2016 or 2017 NXT show, which was NXT. It was Bobby Roode versus Drew McIntyre, I think, for like the NXT title or something. And there was a kid there who had special needs and he was standing up cheering and there was people laughing at him. And I remember being so pissed off, like, dude, man, fuck you. Like, I love wrestling. I just want people to have fun, enjoy wrestling. Like, I feel like the worst part about wrestling now is none of us talk about wrestling to other people. Like we don't tell our friends about wrestling. We don't care. We're so miserable. So like a coin or something that if you actually made, you talk about like adventures, like there's people that want, what did WWE try to do? They had said, not virtual meet and greets. They try to do something like this, like a rewards loyalty program. Or I think they at least floated a questionnaire for it. And I was sitting there, I think most of the coins would end up overseas, first of all.
Yeah, you're
And
probably right about that. You're probably right about that one. They'd probably jump on it quick.
Because I think most wrestling fans in the U.S. don't realize how big WWE is outside of the network, like outside of the country,
right?
Which is kind of scary to think about. Like same thing, like all these independent promotions, like Beyond. Like one of the promotions we wanted to do this idea was we had 4 YouTubers. We'd go around, we'd promote all these smaller companies. We would create a T-shirt for all of them. We would link money. We would try to like, get in more money for the performers and basically create like a grassroots movement, pretty much exactly like Bitcoin, like the audience is doing, except what you're talking about doing is building the coin where they would share versus I was talking about pretty much being the influencer on social media, getting you to do all that shit. So it's like you were working on the behind the scenes. I was working on the public facing stuff. And it's like you kind of realize at a certain point, it's like everybody has their own niches though. And it's like we've seen it now, like not only like with the political divide, the pandemic, you've seen wrestling companies like almost shudder because their owners are fighting because one wants to wear masks, one doesn't. Like the independent wrestling, I think, is going to be in trouble a little bit. And I feel like this is where companies like WWE, who have laid their, I wrote this back in 2016, they've laid their pipes all around the world. They could absolutely cash in on a coin right now, dude. They have performance centers across all the country. It's like we mock the Superstar Spectacular on the India network, like on the network, right? We all mock Jinder Mahal as champion back when the network, I think this is actually when you probably made money in the stock market, back when I think you and back when it was $30-some when I was saying go hard to buy the stock. I don't remember if that was the year Jinder got the title or not, when they were trying to get the network going big.
Yeah, I started my investments into WWE in 2014. 14, right around when WWE Network was first about to launch, and I bought in at about $13 a share, and I had a whole bunch of it, dude. That's the only stock I invested in, and that's how I legitimately started, because it was the only company that I really knew through and through. I knew enough about that I thought, okay, this WWE Network thing is an absolutely fantastic idea, so I think I'm going to make some money on this, and I did pretty well.
Yeah, the network did great and the TV rights did well, and it's like we both expected. They just signed their new rights to sign over and make a big deal. But it's like the WWE right now, like they've cashed in all these stars for years, and I'm sitting here like going, man, we're bitching as fans right now because our favorite stars aren't getting used. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting there going like, they basically know these superstars have their lives made, right? Like pandemic hit. This is like the perfect case scenario right now if you're a major employer to kind of like lock your employees in. Like if you're a WWE, if you're any of these companies, you're going to use this pandemic. Now would be the time. It's like everybody's complaining when WWE cracked down on the Twitch and the third platforms. Man, WWE is going to have to, like you said, maybe for a crypto, like buy enough tickets, get a meet and greet, get to play video games with Xavier Woods, there is so much they could do and there's so much upside into it. And the only reason I was going to mention the data stuff, like you were talking about, like purchases and stuff, WWE would want stuff to link. So it's like, I feel like now I'll buy something for somebody as a wrestling gift, but they don't buy it themselves. Versus WWE wants you to buy it themselves, right? Like the reason Tony Khan and like AEW and like they wanted you to sign up for your own network accounts and everybody separate is because they want to track you. And I feel like that's where this Peacock thing is going to come into play, and this is where I'm going very bullish on WWE stock up to about 75 here coming shortly. If it pays off, is millions more people are getting access to the WWE network, and millions more fans are going to get to come back. Like just think, there's going to be a section on Peacock when millions of people go to watch Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson next to WWE superstars, next to The Office.
Yep.
So
and they're gonna have commercials. They'll be having commercials for WrestleMania. They'll be having commercials for all these big major shows all over that platform, bro.
So this is just where the only reason I was talking about that is like it's nice to talk to people that actually like, look from the investing side. Like I got burnt out like from the actual like the wrestling side, but like this is why investing is so fun and looking at numbers, because like you can make educated guesses, you can do the research, you can actually know for sure. There's no bullshit speculation. Like if there was, you fucked up by not knowing about it. And I feel like that's where like do most of the people that you follow, like do you find that most of the people that joined crypto, did you find them from wrestling and they converted? Were they outside people that you just met along the way? Is it
So I'll tell you, the first time I ever heard of Bitcoin was in 2013. I was driving. I was out of work, bro. Hurricane Sandy hit this area, and I worked at the Jersey Shore in Seaside Heights, and I didn't have a job anymore. The boardwalk got wiped out. So I went on a venture. Maybe, yeah, it was 2013. It was right before WrestleMania that year because I went to that WrestleMania. That was WrestleMania 29. I'm driving to trucking school, bro. I was going to be a truck driver, like a tractor trailer
driver. Okay.
Truck driver, bro. Because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was in like my mid-20s. I'm like, what am I going to do with myself? So I was going to trucking school, and I took the whole trucking school, and I'm listening to this radio station called 105.7 The Hawk. And they're talking to a guy who called in about Bitcoin. And it was the first time I heard about it. And I went home that night and I looked it up and I said, this is too complicated. I'm not going to buy any. It was so cheap. It was, I want to say it was $7 a Bitcoin at the time, $7. And I was like, nah, fuck it. And then I barely heard about it at all for the next 3 years. Like I might have, and it might've been a fleeting thought, or I might've read something and just didn't care about it. But then in 2016, a personal friend of mine who is a digital marketer and who has made a bunch of money online using Facebook ads and a bunch of other different kind of like scammy ways of making money. He told me about it. He was like, dude, this Bitcoin thing's starting to blow up. Check this out. And that's when I really started to do a deep dive on my own. And I started looking on Twitter, searching hashtags, looking on message boards. I jumped onto coinmarketcap.com, which is a site I showed you before. I started digging into CoinMarketCap like every day. I downloaded different exchanges, started looking at the charts, and I was like, okay, I kind of get it. I still have Bitcoin on my old computer that I bought at that $3,000 mark somewhere. It's sitting on a wallet. The computer's fried. It's the wallet is attached to the computer. Probably not too much money in there. It might be like $1,000 at this point, but still, like it was early in the game, man. I was making some moves in 2016. And I still, dude, I still believe it is fucking early. It is early in the cryptocurrency game because most people, dude, I said it to this girl I work with the other day. I said, I'm just going to keep stacking the Bitcoin. And she said, what's Bitcoin?
Okay, but like just so we're clear, and this is where you and I butt heads, where you think I'm fighting you on this, and now this is the first time.
I don't think that. It's
okay. This is the first time.
Talk to you this way.
Okay, this is the first time we're talking this out face to face, and this is. I just want you to say this one more time because I'm going to make the comparison to something you're going to go, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Say exactly what you just said about how you started to hear some information, you randomly heard it one day on the radio. Okay, let me just retrace what you said. Yeah. One day I randomly heard this one guy talk about this one thing on the radio. I did some research myself, and I went and found some research. That research could have been planted right there by the people that wanted you to find it. Okay, theoretically, because you believe Google manipulates stuff. Okay, so you go and you find the information. It's too complicated, but it's been planted in your head now that Bitcoin exists. And I think back then it was still Bitcoin's the future, blockchain's the future. That was the big buzzword back then, was blockchain's the future. It wasn't Bitcoin, it was blockchain. Right. Because all the justification was, well, even if Bitcoin doesn't take off, blockchain will. And then, like you said, for the next 3 years, a bunch of news started trickling in. Your friends started talking about it. Stuff you started researching in the past started coming back up. And then, oh, bam, it's time to go. And all this shit hits the fan. Now literally look at whether you're a Democrat, a liberal, look at anything like that. And literally look at how that's where that shit started. It starts from this small idea. You go and do research. You find that research. That research leads you to start believing everything and going to build a course. That may sound like, okay, that could sound bullshit. But in the course of me, and this is where I deconstructed this, and this is where I realized this, when I got into daily fantasy sports, that's exactly what it was. Because daily fantasy sports and where they make their most money was from the top guys all coordinating plays, exactly like the fucking stock market. DraftKings and FanDuel can't say it, but the high player have always coordinated their lineups. They coordinated their lineups. And then those people go out and give projections on their websites that people pay for advice on.
Yeah.
Because they can win them just enough money to continue. So it's like, this is where, like, when I'm trying to respond to you on Twitter, this is how I'm trying to talk it out. I'm just like, I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, pro-Trump, not pro-Trump, whatever, but just point out how for the thing you care about, blockchain, it followed the exact same steps as somebody that like started with a conspiracy or a Russia hoax or something like this. And this is where I try to break down and look at social media and look beyond the people to where I don't care if you're a long lost like Trump supporter friend that's gone to the dark side. I don't care if you're one of my friends that became so liberal that I can't even stand them, even though I'm liberal. Like, at the end of the day, dude, the information and the places we get our information, that like whether the stock, like my job for the last 4 years has been to manipulate the search engine through Google, like through YouTube videos, right? My job was to make sure that my content popped up before anybody else's. And I could say anything I wanted. Like, it is a little scary to me, like the stuff that you actually find through a lot of this stuff. So I feel like, what is that chart? How far up is that Bitcoin? Like,
this is Bitcoin, bro. This is Bitcoin. This is showing you like back in 2013. Like, it was before this. It was definitely when I was looking at it. So it might have been around the $100 mark, but I was looking at it in the winter of 2013.
It was around then, because I remember one of the wrestling people in our group that had, I think, probably 10 Bitcoin way back then. I don't know how many Bitcoin they had. They had bought the pizza. They were one of the people that was like a meme of, but like buying a pizza for the Bitcoin or whatever. So it's like, all that stuff to become true, you have to have some people that have made money. You have to have some people that think it's a big shit show. And all I'm saying is, like, you and I realize the theater of all aspects. I look for, okay, what is all the theater? I'm not, when I point out like who's on this side or who's on that side, that's not taking anybody's side. That's just legitimately pointing out, like, look at how any of this stuff could be manipulated, right? Like, the people that have been pushing Bitcoin for the longest time, like, you mock them, they could have the biggest position in Bitcoin. Well, all the banks are saying, yo, fuck Bitcoin. We're not a part of Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin, or banks, start buying into Bitcoin. Now, when they start buying in, imagine all the people that have the Bitcoin start hedging against the banks themselves. Now you've just double fucked the banks, which is why I'm still worried about our entire markets getting fucked up. And it's like, you talk about this global reset and everything. Again, you're overlooking your niche, which is creating a global reset. Like, so that's always funny to me. It's like, you can overlook your niche of like, man, I am so against the global reset in every fashion. And then, but you're missing the big bubble that what's pushing that reset is the thing that you're in the bubble of making money. And that to me is always the thing that I just like to poke at. I'm like, that's cool that you're doing it. I don't give a shit. But it's like the two are so combined, and people miss like how closely that little stuff can be combined.
Yeah,
Right?
can
Like,
I just tell you that it makes a lot more sense with you actually saying it than reading it in a text?
Yeah,
like it
okay.
makes way more sense with you saying it. I can actually understand, because I'm trying to when I read your DMs, I'm trying to imagine you saying it. And a lot of the times it makes no sense. And I do have problems with reading comprehension my entire life. Like, I used to fail that shit in elementary school. Reading comprehension is not my game, but I can listen and learn that way. And that makes a lot of sense, bro. It's true. And that is why I love Bitcoin, because if the global reset, if the great reset's going to happen, if Klaus Schwab gets his way and these build back better people like Justin
you'll already
Trudeau,
have Bitcoin. You'll be set. You'll be ahead of everybody else. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to take advantage of it. If the Klaus Schwabs of the world want to say you will have nothing and you will love it, you won't own anything, kill yourself.
I don't even know who that is, by the way.
Huh?
No idea. I have no idea who that is.
Klaus Schwab. Klaus Schwab is the man. He's a professor that is the head of the World Economic Forum. He's this old alien looking guy. I'm going to pull him up. He's this old alien looking son of a bitch. He looks like, oh man, he just looks evil, dude. I don't like him at all. He's a big piece of shit in my opinion. But that's because he's a globalist, and I'm not down with the whole globalism agenda where they want to make America not like a free society. They want us to be like number 2 to China and follow their lead and everything. This is Klaus Schwab. A German engineer and economist, best known as the founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum.
Okay, so I've seen him before. Okay, I know.
So this
okay.
let me just tell you something. This dude runs Davos, which is in I believe Sweden or Norway or one of those Nordic countries. I'm not exactly sure, 100% off the top of my head. So Davos is this big conference.
Yeah, I follow Davos every.
Okay,
yeah.
So you get it. They had Lily Singh on it. They always have these mainstream celebrities and all the super liberal people, and they all like get together. Like Bloomberg was there, and Bill Gates was there over the summer, and they all talk about how much better the world is going to be, build back better, and all this stuff. Well, what do you think? What do you think that means, man? This was supposed to be an agenda that was pushed for 2030. Like this was within happening. They wanted this to happen for many years, globalism agenda, of course. But there was one person that was opposed to it big time, and that was President Trump. President Trump went to Davos I think it was last year or maybe the year before that. He went to Davos. He went there himself. And he tore them an absolute new dude. He called them all out.
Did he take a photo?
One of them out.
This is where I love pointing this stuff out. Is he also took a photo with, was it King the guy from Saudi Arabia, right? That was the economic forum. Okay, so right again, just in parallel universes, everybody's talking about 2030 and this great thing by whatever. What is WWE benefiting from right now that's propping up their stock?
100%, dude. I had a
Saudi Arabia's 2030 build. So it's like I feel like they're the same. I feel like they're either opposite ends. Like there's a couple different ways of looking at this. Like I felt like they have all the stuff that you look at with Davos, like I don't ever get past the surface level stuff. Like I only ever look at like the stocks and stuff. I don't ever deep into any of that shit. Mm-hmm. Other than maybe like a documentary here or there. I remember like when I was really crazy back in high school, laughing my ass off at Alex Jones and the Bilderberg stuff. Like I don't care either way, because like you talk about the super liberal people at like these events, or you talk about like the papers, right, that are slanted towards something. And all I can think now, and I was walking around thinking about this yesterday, was how much of our personal information has been given out. So when you're trying to fill jobs now, you can pretty much craft the exact perfect person you need for that job type. You have your job pickings. Like with going forward in these, I think there's going to be more specialized jobs, because I think we're about to lose a shitload of jobs to automation. I think nobody's worried about automation right now. Like I had a family member last Christmas that we were talking to who's a truck driver. And we were talking about automation. Yeah, no, we're 10 years away from automated trucks. Not happening. They started driving, I think 2 days later, they started driving the unmanned test drives in Arizona. Mm-hmm. And he was like, what the hell? So it's like you said, like you're already ahead of the game. You're getting into the Bitcoin and all this other stuff. I feel like if we're at the turn of it, though, how are you going to communicate all this if like stuff like you said, Trump went over there to shut all this down, but in the end, like I brought up the 2030 plan with Saudi Arabia. What if he's on like one side of the plan? Well, what if there was two 2030 plans trying to fight right now? Like you said, maybe there is. And like, whose is better? I don't fucking know. And I feel like this is where I go back to that Medium post of that speaker that went to talk to 5 billionaires and basically said, listen, if the impending apocalypse was coming, right, like you had said, if we all up tomorrow and just don't honor the dollar bill anymore, right, and it becomes a lawless society and you're a billionaire, who's going to help or protect you? You're going to want to be good to the people now before the impending, like whatever the fuck you're talking about. Because like I said, I'll get in on the surface level stuff enough so we can talk about something, but I don't ever get into like the actual like deep down. So that's why like when I talk about it, it may sound like I know more, but it's more from just the surface level stuff. If deep down there was this big reset, whatever, it's going to come from what's happening now of people making fortunes and like say like Wall Street bets. Say like somebody went and made $100 million and they spent the next 2 years giving away that 100 million, building up a cult following of 1 million people that would fucking die for them. everything that's going on right now with the financial system, with crypto, people making their like Elon Musks, the people that would go to bat for Elon's, the people that would go to bat for Donald Trump's, the cultisms that is happening on social media right now is what terrifies me more than anything. Like, meanwhile, you and I are just sitting here trying to make some money on Dogecoin, having some fun, planning for the future. There are people that are legitimately getting attached to those people, like you said, whether it's like the Davos people that love Davos, the people that are super anti-Davos, whatever. That we're headed towards people so fucking divided they can't even talk, they can't do anything. And hopefully, I guess if you're a financial show, that if that's what people are watching, you're gonna pick the bones. And what I would say is just stand back. I would say, like, even though you call me a super liberal all the time, I'll bet against a liberal. I'll bet on a conservative. I don't care. Like, I don't. If you're financially investing, you have to remove all emotion. It's like,
I also do that.
said,
I do that to bust your balls too. By the way, I don't do that. Yeah. I'm not being mean or being like a dick in any way. I'm just being. Well, I am being a dick. But I'm doing it just to bust your balls. I'm not trying to be mean about it.
I do the same. I do the same thing to you. It's like I'll just like randomly bring something up, and it's like, now that you know how we're talking, it's always like in this tone. It's never, people think I'm like super serious on Twitter. It's like, I don't give a shit. Like especially when you talk like WWE or something, like when you're in a writer's room. Like, I've been doing it the last 3 months that I've been around Matt. Like, it's a complete difference when you're around people that are constantly thinking and working and like trying to better themselves versus people that are just content all the time. And it lets the ideas flow. So it's like, I get why like you or people like that are trying to be a part of the community, and or like whether it's Bitcoin or anything, it just inspires you to like keep going and firing it on all cylinders. And especially like my writing and everything, and or especially stocks. It's like, I can take your opinion on something, how you react to it, and like poke the bear a little bit to see how somebody truly feels. And it's like, you just realize social media is just this huge fucking psychological experiment that people are getting rich from. And we're knowingly, willingly doing it. And none of us are going to put it down. So like you said, the last thing I just want to touch on, you said the Gregory said something that you don't own anything, you live in a happy go lucky society, you're carefree. That's what we already fucking have now. You have, if you're talking about like the big scare tactic is Google's building a sensor for China, a credit rating system, and China's building a credit rating system. I hate to tell you this, Google's been doing it the last 14 years.
Oh yeah.
Surprise. Surprise, it's right there.
I understand that. Well, look at this video, and you can just read it. And this is the 8 predictions from the World Economic Forum for 2030. And the thing is, they have admitted that this agenda, and this is what Lily Singh said when she actually opened Davos this year. She was like the person to like open it up to the, hey everybody, I'm hosting or whatever. So what Klaus Schwab said, I believe it was over last summer, right in the middle of this pandemic, is he said, we are pushing in midst of the pandemic, we are going to use the pandemic and the global crisis to usher in the Great Reset. Those were his words. Those aren't my words. That's what he said. And this dude holds a lot of power. Like the World Economic Forum, this is where like, many of these big major, I want to say politicians, presidents, Bill Clinton went there, Hillary Clinton went there, Barack Obama went there. They all do speeches at the World Economic Forum every year. They get all the countries together and they all go there and they suck each other's dicks, But here, let me just you don't have to hear this because there's not really any narration, but just read it. 8 predictions for the world in 2030. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Whatever you want, you'll rent and it'll be delivered by drone. The U.S. won't be the world's leading superpower. This is what Trump had a problem with. Trump had a problem with this. And I think that anyone who I have a problem with this.
I think we're already on that path. I think that's where America right now, I fucking love living here. I love everything. I feel like we were already on that path. I feel like this is the same way I look at liberals fighting conservatives about military budget. The reason our goddamn military budget is so big is because we run our goddamn mouth and we have to. And I feel like that's where the liberals lose it. Like the reason we spend so much is because our bite's bigger than our bite. Our bark is bigger than our bite. So you have to have the weapons to back that shit up or else the countries are coming for us. So the liberals that want to tone down and like take down the defense to spend that money elsewhere, that doesn't happen unless like you talk about in the big worry you have are all the countries basically becoming one and dropping their borders in the military, which again, in an ideal world would sound fucking great. Like if we honestly like, hey, fucking Mexico, your shit's your shit, my shit's my shit. You good? Yeah, we're good. Like if that actually in theory was a thing, great. We know it's not though. We know like that we go into like we've used Africa as a mining thing for the last 75 years. We know we've used all these countries. And
Oh,
I was
yeah.
driving around today and I heard on a radio show the guy popped up really quick and I don't even remember what it was. It was like an 87 point something. And it was just like, imagine the American apocalypse. And it was like, imagine like our failing infrastructure, like, right, China became bigger. Like it was one of those scare tactic shows about like China getting bigger. I don't even, maybe it was Glenn Beck. I don't know what the hell it was.
Yeah.
And you're thinking about the failing infrastructure. China just took us over for investment. America like could already be headed down that path, right? Like I feel like that's where if you're already going to get overtaken as number one, and let's say political theater is a real thing, whether you're Democrat or Republican, and this is why you see politicians flip, if the script has to be, listen, we're going to fight each other, but at the end of the day, we have to be number one, right? But here's the thing, the projections are showing like there's this coin and here's Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to pass us. We have to put up theater to pretend we're not, to rally us. I think that's like stuff that you may miss. Like China was already going to pass us. Like we can keep looking at it like maybe they weren't, but they are. They have like what 5 times like how many people do they have again? 1.5, like something like that. They structure their living around like how you and I talk. Like I'm a big believer now that I used to be 500 pounds and I'm like 270, like 279 now. I'm going to
You used to be
275.
hold on. You used to be legit 500 pounds.
500 pounds.
You were 500 fucking pounds.
Yeah, I went up 150 pounds the year and a half I became a big YouTuber. I went up 150 pounds because I wanted to sit at a desk and constantly work and just sit there all day. And I was eating like so many calories. Like
Yeah.
now we're sitting on the way back down. It's like it's so fucking easy. It's like my doctor always told me growing up, like as a fat kid, right? Like because I only ever ate when I was hungry. He used to say, like, just take the bun off. You can eat the 2 double cheeseburgers. Just take the bun off. It's the carbs that'll get you. All right. All that shit aside now, and this is where I like the vitamins and everything. Like we shit on China for how they do stuff, but like I would love if we got taught education, nutrition, like stuff that would like change stuff. Like
They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. They want to keep us dumb and fat and out of shape, and they want to keep this is an agenda that goes back to the Rockefellers who started.
But they want, but that's where I feel like you get too big because what they want is just somebody in a marketing and advertising capitalist room. Like, yes, you could go, and this is where you think I go too far big. I feel like I went to school for marketing and advertising to where my job was literally to convince a kid he wanted McDonald's. That he didn't fuck the kid that didn't fucking need McDonald's. I had to plant this idea from seed to getting him to buy the McDonald's in his head. And that's when you see how fucking easily people can be manipulated. And that's why you see like social media, how easy it has been manipulated. If you plant an idea, like you can literally, I can track this and I can fuck with you one day and show you how easy this would be to get an idea in your head. Not that I have any knowledge or I do this currently. That would be illegal. To get you to see a tweet on your timeline to where you go to research it on any search engine you want, and I can get what I want you to click for your research to show up, even on like a major website only you would trust, and basically craft this thing like it's its own little rabbit hole for you. It's like it scared the shit out of me when like the Capitol, like the riots were one thing. Like I've long said, I think both sides are getting enticed into violence. Like if there is some sort of big, like what you say, like you think there's this huge overarching whatever. If there is something like that, it just comes from a nature of watching people fight and being too stupid to realize it. No matter what they're fighting for, whether it's right, whether it's wrong, whatever the fuck they're fighting about, there's going to be people that are going to try to poke the bear. And like U.S. not being the world superpower, I think is the biggest bear poker because I think America only is the biggest because we spend the most on military. So it's like the one thing that could save us money as a country and could actually be used is the thing we can't do because we won't ever shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no,
So
you got some great points there. I think, the moment that Ronald Reagan and Henry Kissinger opened up China to the world, they had this big speech on. You might have seen it, you may not have seen it. Ronald Reagan, we're opening up China to the rest of the world, and that was a turning point, and it was something that President Trump was actually talking about in the 80s. He was talking about how China, Japan, they're eating our lunch. He would say they're eating our breakfast. If we're not careful, if we don't fix this soon, they are going to take over America. And he was saying this in the 80s, in the 90s. That's one reason why I had bad Trump derangement syndrome for many years. Like, I was very much in the CNN liberal, listen to comedians. I listened to Bill Maher every Friday night. I was in that mindset for many, many years, and I hated Donald Trump. And then
that
when
could
I went
also
back, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was gonna say that could also be like a carefully crafted, like you say this. We can say the same thing about, like, I'll give you something you could relate to, like the Biden thing, right? Whether I don't give a shit about Hunter Biden. If Hunter Biden was connected to bad shit that his dad was a part of, well, his dad was in office, I care about that. I don't give a shit what Hunter did.
Well, yeah, that's when it happened. That's when it happened, though. It happened.
That's fine. Okay,
Joe
once that
president.
stuff, and like I said, once that stuff comes out, like I said, I support Joe Biden. If it comes out that he was in some bad shit, damn, I don't support Joe Biden that does bad shit. But it's like, you look at the actual, like, the big names and how you can carefully craft a legacy or a name. You can 100% say, like I've told you, like, we know that the biggest Black Lives Matter page was run by an Australian dude. You could say from 2000, from when Trump was most bankrupt, his success was created by a reality show television. Mark, the billionaire, the TV producer from, I can't think of his name right now, from Australia. Mm-hmm. This dude from Australia literally crafted Trump's entire image. But going back before that, like you said, the 80s, 90s, whatever, doesn't that make, just let me point that out, and then does this raise any red flags in your head? He's been saying that stuff since the 80s, 90s that got you to think derangement syndrome, so that you went against him. But now he is the true patriot fighting for America. Meanwhile, everybody else is flipping. That to me just seems like the best political theater. Like, that seems like Donald Trump was always meant to be the guy. You saw him fight the ups and downs of the business battle. That makes me seem like, if I was saying that out loud, that makes it seem like he's a part of the swamp. Like, his image has been just as carefully crafted as Joe Biden's to protect him from, like, or like Pete Buttigieg or anybody that's like getting raised in politics to where they have to neatly keep you in a bubble. Like any of the rich kids that become, like, go from college, they have to be kept in a bubble to preserve them their entire time. Couldn't you then say, by your same token, that Donald Trump did the same thing? He was everything that we meme now, because memes are how we connect with people. I don't care what you say. The most effective way I can get an idea over is to meme the fuck out of it. If I come out with a new product, my employees better have 15 memes of this fucking product to get people to talk about it, because memes get shit over. So couldn't you theoretically say that Trump's entire build has been a part of this, to be essentially the savior of America, to fight exactly what you're saying?
Theoretically, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's the part that I love, and this is why I just love talking about this in this context of this kind of a podcast, where how do we pick the bones of that then? Like, I like to talk about that from all sides. Like, let's stop looking at it like I believe Trump shit. Okay, let's say if Trump is saying is what's true, where are they betting their money and where do they want it to pay off? Like, that's the way I just look at it. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, the fact that Trump's kids are the voice of reason right now for the Robinhood markets, after they handicapped the markets with the tax breaks and the stock buybacks, I didn't believe it. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you didn't. And here's my turning point. Like, I always thought Trump was a dick, a douchebag.
I gotta get my phone charger. 1 second. I'm at 1%.
All good.
I can still hear you.
Yeah. I hated the guy. I did not like the guy. Up until a certain point, when I started to really dig into what his thesis was about, like, what his idea was for America, and how it was consistent from the 80s all the way up until now. This is what happened in my mind, right? Like, he very well could have been a plant. It could be the whole thing could be a setup, but I don't think so. He was the right guy at the right time. He was a celebrity. He was somebody who wasn't afraid to say what he meant or what he wanted you to believe. And we also took our society and we went from a George W. Bush, who is probably the biggest warmonger, criminal, in the history of this country. I truly believe that George W. Bush and the people that he surrounded himself with, Rumsfeld and Cheney and these scumbags, are a few of the biggest pieces of shit to ever walk God's green earth. And then we went all the way to the left. And don't get me wrong, I loved Obama. I voted for him twice. I was a big supporter of Obama for many years, but he also had his flaws. And everybody knows no president's perfect. They all have their flaws. Like, should Obama have drone struck children? No. An American kid over there? No, he shouldn't have done it. But
yeah,
he did,
there's a lot of stuff
sucks.
that Obama's there. Yeah, like there's a lot of stuff that
Totally.
that Obama's done that, you know.
Yeah, but when we go all the way to the left, when it goes all the way so far to the left, which it was during the Obama administration, and I can
only
it
only went to 2 years. Okay, so like that's I'm gonna call bullshit right there.
Bro.
It only swung for the first 2 years. For the first 2 years, yes, it swung. But again, you have to realize, like, everything that we fight over in this country, if you truly believe it's all a stage in political warfare, right? Like, if you truly believe what's going on right now, because I've said this today, and like, if the Democrats don't come down on Wall Street for this, it just proves they're in the pocket. Like, AOC was calling out today, and I've said the same thing. I'm fine that if this finally shows that Democrats have like ties to the actual lobby, go after them. But at a certain point, like, oh my God.
No, but here's what I was getting at before. So when we go so far to the left, the people on the right start freaking out. The same way when we go so far to the right, the people on the left start freaking out. We need balance. Yeah. We need balance.
The stock market. The stock market, the guns. Like, when Obama first won, like, that was what I was trying to say. Everything that we talk about, I want to always relate something to, like, the finance stuff, right? Like, it's exactly what the stock market was to where gun shortage. Everybody made their money. This is the fucked up thing about this. And this is where I try to relate it to, and this is where I try to, like, get out of your head about this battle over, like, gun rights and shit, is you could be an investor who's so anti-gun, but knows that, like, Obama winning the presidency is going to skyrocket gun sales. So you can invest in, meanwhile, you can be on TV saying, I'm anti-gun, I'm fighting guns. Meanwhile, you're investing in guns. And, like, you have not paid attention to any of that. Like, that's just normal. Like, during the entire stock market's history, that's normal shit, right? You're now getting to see how manipulated this shit is, right? Same thing with, like, I try to show you, okay, same thing with elections. The poll watchers, it's always been a fucking scam to the point where it was always about a Democrat or Republican vote. And then, like, they would have a poll watcher, they would have a Democrat or Republican. They would all three look at each other with an independent person and go, I'll give this one a Republican if you give the next one Democrat, right? And they've just created the system where they lobbied back and forth. Everything was fine. Same thing with the stocks. And like, with the guns, to be able to go on both sides, that's the shitty part about this fucking market. You can be one thing in public and you can be shitty on the backside. And that's where, if there's one thing that blockchain comes, if you go on TV to promote something, I want to know where your money is. I think that's exposing it right now with Nancy Pelosi. There's some Democrat that got caught selling shares from back this month. I don't know who it was. I thought it was a Democrat. They're privy to so much information that if that information is being used on social media, I just think it could all be bad.
Yo, so I just looked at Doge, bro. My $50 investment in Doge is now worth $89.81.
Okay, I'm in the app. Is this gonna end the app if I go to check my Doge? I have no idea.
I don't know, but it's over 4 cents, dude. It's 4 cents right now. It's 4 cents. And look, dude, if they can,
if I PayPal you, you want to send me some Robinhood? I'll send you some PayPal. Robinhood me some cash, and I can't add that shit, dog.
Let's talk offline about that. But yeah, dude, this is crazy shit. But look, I want to wrap this up because I've been on the air for about 2 hours now, and I need some food, bro. To be honest with you, I'm starting to feel a little frail. I need and it's 8 o'clock.
No, I'm right there with you. Wrap this one up.
So let's wrap this up, dude.
I've been hitting up?
One last thing. I just want to continue this video. It's only another minute long. So I want to narrate this and read this, and then we'll wrap this up. And we'll do this again. We'll do this whenever we can do it because I plan on doing these consistently. I'm not stopping. So here we go. The U.S. won't be the lead world superpower, whatever. A handful of countries will dominate.
They already do. Okay.
Yeah. You won't die waiting for an organ donor. Nothing wrong with that, right? What is that? We won't transplant organs. We'll print new ones instead. What? You'll eat much less meat. Come on, man. I want to eat steak. An occasional treat, not a staple, for good of the environment and our health. Aw. 1 billion people will be displaced by climate change. Really? We'll have to do a better job at welcoming and integrating refugees. Ooh, fun. Polluters will have to pay to emit carbon dioxide. There will be a global price on carbon. This will help make fossil fuels history. You could be preparing to go to Mars. You can't make this up. Scientists will have worked out how to keep you healthy in space. The start of a journey to find alien life, they ask at the WF. Western values will have been tested to the breaking point. Uh-oh. Checks and balances that underpin our democracies must not be forgotten. And that's pretty much it. Like, comment, share. World Economic Forum. Okay, so that's the gist of it. That video has been out for a while, but these guys, these Great Reset Davos people, they do not have our best interest in mind, man.
But I mean, like, nobody does.
Top. It's all about to the top. You're right. It's all about to the top. That's all they want.
Yeah, but they, like, I don't think anybody does, and I feel like that's the shit that sucks right now, and that really pisses me off. We're at now where I feel like I can make most of my money. Like, I'm looking at stocks is in the pharmaceutical industry right now. Like on COVID especially, there's a couple stocks that I've had that really have taken off because of the fact that it's people's pain and suffering. And pharmaceuticals are like the big one that fuck with me because, especially like you brought in that video, there was 1 billion people will be displaced by climate change. There'll be a new organ waiting around the corner. You're going to have people that are just up and dying from like diseases and things. And there's going to be like a huge log. There's not going to be this donor list. And it is kind of a scary thought. Like, I don't want to dive into the conspiracy stuff. Like you obviously have thought, like you've seen the playbooks of how they've prepared and like the Bill Gates stuff. But if that stuff was going to happen, like if an actual virus like was going to decimate through and you needed to plan through, doesn't it still sound good though? Like imagine you were one of the people, like let's just pretend, because you've already said I've stashed away the Bitcoin, I've prepared for this new global agenda. You're going to be one of these people that after survive the billion cull, whatever it is, right? Aren't you going to enjoy that other side where you don't have to worry about all that stuff? You're on the other side with you're on the other side with this huge fucking head start, brother, because of all your investing now. I say you just ride this shit to the top and you call it a day.
What choice do I have, man? But I can complain about it because I want America to be #1, damn it. That's what I want. I don't like China. I don't like Xi Jinping, but I also love China and Xi Jinping. So China, please, when you come here and invade our countries, please spare me and my family because I don't need that happening. But dude, thank you so much, bro. Let's do this more. Let's do this whenever. Let's try to do this regularly, maybe, monthly or whatever. We'll check in, maybe weekly. Who knows? Let's try to do this more often.
Yeah, I felt like that ended perfectly. Like that was exactly how I feel Trump, man. Whether you like him or you hate him, you get the job done, and that's what it's all about. So yeah, we'll be back at some point.
Look, I don't think I think Trump did a lot of good things, and I don't think you can say he didn't because he did many things that were good, especially for the medical industry. And we can go into this more deeply in another episode. But
yeah, whether he did anything, whether he did anything good for like you back then, or whether he was terrorized for your last 3 years, what he terrorized you for those last 3 years is going to bring the change you want now. So either way, Trump is good depending on the point in time you're looking at it. Because if he was bad for you 3 years ago, he's about to be fucking great for you in the next 4 years if the Democrats get their way. So there's always a hindsight if you just wait. That's what you got to. That's why you hold the stocks. Right? That's what you say. You have to hold the stocks.
You hold on to your Bitcoin. You don't sell your never sell my Bitcoin again, brother. Yo, thanks, bro. Let's talk later. Peace.
All right, man. Peace out.
Peace, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me on this 2-hour marathon episode I did not see coming. Thank you. Tubby, thank you. Everybody who listens to this in the future, because we only had a couple of concurrent viewers tonight, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is only the beginning. This is only the beginning, brother. We're going to shoot up to the moon. Yeah, Dogecoin to the moon. Peace.